Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or massages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Energies. Up, Big Cat. I insist. May your comings and goings be forever covered by the grace of the Most High. When in doubt, go within. Surprise! Bet you weren't expecting me at this time. You know me, bestie. I like to turn up on a big cat to see what's going on, to see if someone needs to smack themselves across the face. Listen, we've got to get extreme during these interesting and extreme times. Fist bump. Yes, baby. They stay lurking with the loitering eyes. Yes, they do. Ha ha! Why? They feel inferior to your gangster, your certain je ne sais quoi, your get back game, darling dears. But you'll be saying, why? Why not? You are the shiznai, and I'll have nothing else said. You didn't get bitter, you got better. Their life is on the rocks of life, darling dears, a full-on crime scene full of karmic consequences and ramifications. After all, Freud did say, whatever you focus on becomes powerful. Let them continue to focus, darling dears, as you continue to get great. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way in, darling dears. Get us in the algorithm so we can all have a good sit down and a quick chat. Okay, good golly and gosh. Look at this. You have the energy of the 4 and a 2. Energy of a 6, darling dears. Let's drop down and get our eagle on. First things first, darling dears. The energy of the 6 says that you are very family orientated, or you are searching for your true family at this moment in time. You may even have your family, your progenies, darling dears. One family member that you managed to get away with alive. Whatever your circumstance or situation is, this reading is for you. The energy of the 6, according to the low shoe grid, darling dears. This is a low shoe grid, Chinese numerology. The energy of the 6 is the northwest direction, darling dears. Okay, the energy of the 6 speaks about helpful people, helpful hands, darling dears. The help, the support, the ground support is on its way. Remember, I told you that. It's also about your spiritual life. You having some kind of spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension, darling dears. Your energy is of a different level, a different type. Why wouldn't they look at it? You glow so much. And if it wasn't for you, darling dears, they wouldn't get up in the morning and be in the middle of their rocks of life, darling dears. That's how they cope, darling dears, by watching you. And as Freud said, let them keep watching. It makes you more powerful. Your power color today would be either gray or mauve, darling dears. We've also got the energy of the 2. The 2 speaks about it being an extremely fortunate period for you. Any form of travel plans, business plans, signing of contracts, standing your ground in every situation. Why? Because you are an IBEX. What's that? IBEX, big cat. Look it up. IBEX, darling dears. If there's a crack, they don't fall back. Neither did you. That's why they are lurking with the loitering eyes. The energy of the 2 also speaks about this being an extremely fortunate time for you. You'll be getting gifts, darling dears, not only from what you can see, but also from the unseen, in the shape of synchronicities, in the shape of your inner voice. That quiet voice is going to be very urgent today. Pay attention, darling dears, because luck is wherever you step. We also have the energy of the four. The four speaks about communication coming in for you, darling dears. Or maybe you have to make some communication. Possibly what? To stand your ground. I told you, it's a lucky period. So whatever you say, whatever you do, wherever you go, darling dears, it's going to be great. Fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely, in fact. Okay. The energy of the four, darling dears. Lean in, bestie. It tells me that you are secure within yourself. You're some kind of a builder, or you're building a level of security, possibly even generational wealth. It also speaks about the realist in you. You had to become the problem solver in your life, darling dears. You are focused, as I said, on family orientated, so it's around the home, your physical body. Some of you are going to be investing in yourself, or possibly even real estate today. Why? Because the number 4 is the 4th house, and the 4th house represents your comfortability behind closed doors, as well as the buying of real estate. Could be renting an apartment or a business space. It could also speak about an office building, going towards a new job. You may be going for an interview. That contract is going to be signed today. Remember, I told you that. Luck is on your side. May it forever stay there. Anyhow, let's press on, bestie. Let's press on. The 2-6, as I said, business matters. Business matters around your working environment, darling dears. If you are at hockey sticks at dawn with management, remember I told you that. You have that glow today, darling dears. Speak it and so it shall be. Remember I told you that. But you have to be what? Sturdy and tenacious in standing your ground. Remember, you have to protect one thing. What's that? Yourself, blood. Because if you ain't taking care of you, how the hell are you going to take care of anybody else? And you'll be out there waiting to be picked off by a Decepticon straight from the crevice of the devil's balls. Let's press on. So this reading is about the energy of the 6 is ruled by Venus. You may be a life path 6 or a 33, master number, spiritual teacher. You are teaching many a spiritual lesson, darling dears. It tells me that you are naturally jovial. You weren't happy like them, darling dears. When you were around they, them, and who are they? Them with the lurking eyes. I just told you, they're loitering, right? Your face was like a well-smacked bottom, always long, always going through something, second-guessing yourself. Yes. You helped them with your downfall. You did. You gave them all of the keys to your castle. Listen, you gave them the key to your, and the password to your psychological. Oh, God. Ooh, child. As I was saying, you are a natural nurturer. Your luckiest numbers over the next 3 days will be the 3, 6, 9. Come through Tesla with the key to the universe. Posh, clap. Your luckiest days will be Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Avoid the numbers 1, 5, 7. The number 6 is ruled by the astrological aspect of a sextile, darling dears. And we love a sextile. Why? It means the energy is flowing easy. It's supporting you. It's inclined to produce results. Yeah, why? Because you're going to be using your abilities, darling dears, your inherent abilities, your natural gifts, talents, darling dears, and skills to your best advantage today. Okay. It also speaks about you having learned from your mistakes. You had to learn from your mistakes, darling dears. You barely had any hairline left. I'm not picking on you, darling dears. I'm a pointer. I went through it too for nearly for half of 100, darling dears. Half of 100. And this is human years, not dog years or cat years. No, blood. As much as I would like to say cat years, I cannot. Because I'd be in the hundreds, blood. The hundreds. Hey. Anyhow, let's press on, darling dears. Yeah, you're going to be more social over the next few days, darling dears, networking. But remember, not everybody that presents as a friend is your friend. Why? I said people stay lurking with the loitering eyes, trying to work you out. A situation they will never graduate from, darling dears. Why? Because half the time you don't know what's going on. You're being guided. Baby, let's go. Right. We're going to get... I said this is going to be about the second and the fourth house, darling dear. I didn't say that, but I'm telling you now. The second house is about your money, darling dears. How you earn your income. It's possessions, material as well as non-material, darling dears. And it's also about how you spend your wealth. Your yes. It's also about the movable properties, darling dears. You know, like your furniture, your clothes, cars, whatever. Somebody's changing up their look. Fourth house, darling dears. The fourth house is about, as I said, it's about land. It's also about things after death, darling dears. Remember I told you that? From the grave, darling dears. Somebody's putting together their funeral plan. Nothing wrong with that. I used to be scared to say funeral and talk about death and dying when I was younger. Now, listen, after I had my awakening and reality smacked me across the face, right? And I had to go through the DNS, the dark night of the soul, and my children were hungry. They wanted the 3 square meals a day. Listen, hey, I told you, I'm a pointer, not a picker. Fist bump. Okay, let's press on, bestie. Let's press on, because time is of the essence today. Why? I told you I've got a full day ahead of me of minding my own business. Takes lots of energies. What's that you said? Kim Carol Diamond saying she's got to make room for what's in. You have to. You have to. Don't try and fill it with the skullduggerous, darling dears, because it will get you nowhere fast, darling dears. Somebody's going to try and block you today. This is representative of the Ace of Swords on its forehead, darling dears. Somebody's feeling extremely stressed and judgmental, and trust and believe they're a lying back, front, neck tabber. They get no S, darling dears. They go for the white meat. Be careful of what? The adversaries today. I told you they stay lurking with the loitering eyes. Not just family members, friends, co-workers. Someone don't like your flow, darling dears. This is an open enemy. Possibly what? Trying to create arguments, subterfuge, or bull swanky on your good name. Be on the alert, darling dears. What did I say? The more they focus on you with those jealous eyes, yes, baby, the less power they have. They're giving you all of their power, darling dears. Why? Because they're feeble-minded and a simpleton, darling dears. Rather than focus on their own astroturf that's on layaway, darling dears, they're focusing on you. They hate your guts. They hate your eyelashes. And I keep telling you, they hate your eyelashes because they're attached to you, darling dears. Okay. Let's see what the final card is. It came out as a thruple, darling dears. They're living in a destabilized situation, darling dears. This is like we've got 2 aces. We've got the Ace of Wands. This is someone who is bitter. They're gossipy, darling dears. They have no true link to their higher mind, their higher self, darling dears. Always causing issues and problems for someone else. This also speaks about a lot of delays, darling dears. Some of them are experiencing a level of brutality in their situations, whatever that brutality means to them, darling dears. It also speaks about rejection, darling dears. Somebody's also been rejected from some kind of a job or a situation. One could also represent the home, darling dears. Destabilized within the home, wanting to reject it, possibly can't. I didn't see any Skrilla. Did you see any Skrilla? Listen, I was paying close attention, and I've got on my what? Spectacles of truth, darling dears. And I tell you many times, if you see me, this big cat, and I haven't got my spectacles of truth in my hands or on my face, I can't see it for you, and I don't see what you're saying. Just putting it out there. Okay. Destabilized, darling dears. And it also speaks about the negativity that they're carrying. Look at all of this negativity going down Bobby Brown. This is self-sabotage at its finest, darling dears. Now imagine they're gathering all of that negativity and thrusting it at you, darling dears. Thrusting it at you, unasked for. But yet still you rise. Come through, Mayor Angelou. Posh, clap. Yes, baby. Base of the deck, darling dears. Concealment. But it's also your shapely back, darling dears. Whatever they're doing, they have to do it in over there somewhere. They can't come in your face. Listen, they can get as mad as they want, right? They can be as offended as they want. They can say whatever they want to say about you. Guaranteed. They can't beat you up, though. They can't. They cannot. They can't put their hands on you, though. They can't. I told you, as a big cat, you've got 3 go-to moves. And nay is always at hand. Listen, I told you, I go everywhere with nay. When nay comes out, people say, nay, stop it, Case, nay. Listen. And if you don't know how to fight, you better learn, darling dears. Go and watch my Don't Get Smoked video where I teach you self-defense and light kung fu. I've put up 2. Look at both, darling dears. The one that's about the fighting up, I think I'm wearing a denim jumpsuit. Yes, I wasn't joking. I put on my scarf for fighting for you, darling dears, my bandana. But it also speaks about your coming out party, darling dears. You're walking towards something that you're being divinely guided towards. Yes, baby. This looks like the light of dawn, darling dears. Your name may even be dawn, even May. Oh, okay then. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. Okay. But this is healing. Some of you are natural healers, and it also speaks about using some kind of, I don't know, if you're using herbs, roots, powders, whatever you're using, darling dears. Somebody's about to come out with something that is about to blow back their hairline, darling dears. I believe it's a product, something that you produced, something that is unique to you, darling dears. Remember, I told you that light is shining on you. You may even oh my God, these stumbling, stuttering bastardos. Listen, where's my shiznai? Have I hidden it from myself? Let's clear that bad negative energy. Somebody's here that don't want to be here, but they can't help it. They are hypnotized. Well, as I was saying, you are walking towards something, darling dears. We have the energy of the 2. Wherever you're going, darling dears, that light, that favorable light from the Most High is shining on you. Remember, gifts, travel, business plans. It could be interview, a home, whatever, some form of presentation. A light could be a light from a camera light, darling dears. Whatever you do today, remember, this is about to put you on a whole different path. We've got 31 in the chat and only 13 likes, but 3113 is an angel number, darling dears. Look up the meaning for that. Let's press on. So they're upset. They're pressed about what you've got going on, darling dears. Can't help but watch you. Feeling inferior. Good golly and gosh. Did not expect your, what? Monumental comeback, darling. What did I say? You are the comeback cat. Hey! Sucks to be them, darling dears. Something to do with the holidays? Did they make your life hell during the holiday period, darling dears? A work holiday, a vacation together, the national holidays. What did they do? Maybe they interrupted your holiday plans by giving you more work than you could understand, darling dears. At that time, we've got water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, darling dears. Opportunity is on its face. This is an opportunist, darling. There's a homosexual, somebody who likes to take advantage of situations, people they believe to be feeble-minded. Oh, I didn't see that behind it. I want you back to rebuild my life. Good golly and gosh. They want your last. Okay. Look. This was in the reverse. They're looking at time, darling dears, but you're not looking at that time. Why? Because none of us know the day, the hour, or the minute, darling dears. This is about you living with je de vivre. Yeah. You're getting your what? Your crack-a-lacking on, darling dears. Whatever you walk towards today, whatever you put out here into the universe today, darling dears, it will come back to you 100-fold. Remember, I told you that. Yeah. Many are about to have no choice but to respect your gangster or just shut up. Why? It's because there's your, whatever it is that you are about to put out, darling dears, it's going to be undeniable. And they're just going to be looking like sad sacks with a mouthful of shiznai, darling dears. Speaking that gingivitis talk again, right? Father God, Mother Isis, come through. What did I say? You are being divinely guided, darling dears, and this message is just for you. Remember I told you that? Right. Let's, they're so miserable and bitter. Not nice. Upset. Lurking. That's a full-time job, darling. It is. People that I don't speak to anymore, they think I'm angry at them for some reason. Nah, blood. I just really don't care. I really don't. Who's got the time to walk around angry? That's a lot of burdens, darling dears. And anger is an energy. You bring more situations and circumstances for you to be angry. I ain't got no time to be angry, darling dears. Too busy what? Having full days of minding my own business. Fist bump. People ask me, why do you always talk about UKs? Well, guess what? I've been studying me for 56 years, blood. And I've been through some things. And I ain't got no time for no one else's shiznai. As a what? As an example, darling dears. Yes. Well, sometimes I do. I'm what? Contradicting myself. Listen, right? No time to talk, darling dears. Do not meet them anywhere. Don't go anywhere. If you're going to be invited to something that you are thinking twice about, do not go. This is not the time to go and sip tea with them. Why? You are the one that's going to be on the prowl. Remember I told you that? And you know how I love a mocha. This is not the time. Or if you're going to have it by yourself, darling dears. Don't meet them anywhere, even though travel is on the cards. Why? Because they stay watching you, darling dears. It's almost to the sacral chakra, but we get the dull yellow of jealousy, envy, and hate, darling dears. They stay watching you. I can't make it up, right? What's this teddy bear? Interested in you? Yeah. Somebody, it could also have been someone that you was involved with, darling dears. God forbid, right? They ain't got no new lease on life, darling dears. Their butterfly has crashed. Their butterfly has crashed, darling dears. Yeah. And they are chasing you, darling dears, but you don't see that they're chasing. Why? Because they're tree sloth. They move slowly, darling dears, slowly. God forbid they drop anything on the floor. There it will stay until it's dodo dead. Possibly even dropped off your progeny, darling dears. Hoping what? That you would what? Turn around and beg them to come back. Where is this? I can't even find my shit. This opportunist, this homosexual who's lurking with the loitering eyes, waiting for your downfall, darling dears. Well, I don't believe they've read Freud. I don't even think they can spell it, darling dears. But we know what's going on. Why? We are big-time psychologists, cats. I told you. When you go through something, darling dears, and it truly is the DNS, where you had no choice but to be strong. Where you had to tell yourself the cold truth about everyone and thing in your life. Where you had to sit and cry that ugly cry. Don't do it again, yeah, because it's not fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. Don't do it. All right, let's press on. Base of the deck, darling dears. Look, I can't make it out. Five of Swords, lurking with the loitering eyes. What did I say? They have their eye on you. Five of Swords also speaks about lots of gossip, lots of talk, darling dears. Lots of derogatory talk. The Sword also speaks about communication, darling dears. Expect some kind of communication or a meeting, darling dears. Why? The energy of the Two speaks about travel. On your travels, darling dears, you might just buck up on them. Listen, it will be a dark day, a dark minute, a dark hour. So you must, I don't know, you don't have to, I mean, you might meet them on your travels, but you know what? I do what I do. When I buck up on someone that I didn't expect to see and I didn't want to see, I use my Easter Island and Stevie Wonder. I don't see you, I don't hear you, and I sure as shiznai ain't going to speak to you. Are you mad? Why would I waste my energies? I'm too busy. Not hiding. Let's carry on. So they're lurking, loitering. Energy of the 1 and the 6 is a 7, darling dears, analyzing something that they can never get their echopraxic on and truly copy. Mm-hmm. 2 kings, darling dears, on its forehead. So the people have come out. It could be bitches or mitches or mitches and bitches. I don't know, darling dears. Definitely gossip, darling dears. Both of them have the what? Crazy eyes. Focused, darling dears. They're focused. And you didn't even tell them to. Watching and looking, darling dears. When we see 2 kings, whatever gossip they're putting out there, they're trying to affect you emotionally or affect other people's emotions around them pertaining to you, darling dears. 2 kings on their forehead, minor gains, darling dears. It's only a feeble-minded simpleton that's taking up whatever they're putting out there pertaining to you, darling dears. But the swords, definitely online, darling dears. If you have a footprint, they're on it, mate. Disappointed, darling dears, that you actually moved on. 4 of Cups on its forehead. They thought you'd stay there and continue to take whatever it was, right? Cups speaks about relationships. It speaks about your emotions being all over the place, unsure in this situation. Like I said, you was put in a position, darling dears, where there was no other option but for you to be strong. And it took a while for your emotions to catch up with the reality of the situation. Hence the 4 of Cups on its forehead, darling dears. But it's giving you what? New direction and new outlook on life, darling dears. But it also speaks about you being able to control your emotions. This is people or a person that is extremely disloyal. They're not even loyal to themselves, darling dears. I'm getting doppelganger energy. Someone that could, as I say, look, the tree of life jumps into my hand, darling dears. This is someone that tried to copy your energy. Or they stole your energy. If it's always a partnership, King of Cups, this person was a liar and a cheater. Scandalous, darling dears. Yeah, blame shifting and mean. Blaming at this moment in time everything on you. Yeah, blaming everything on you. And you're the one possibly with the progenies. Hence the 4 of Cups. You may have 4 progenies or 3, darling dears. One may be in the spiritual realm. If so, my condolences. Clarify this King of Swords, this lying liar. Yeah, strength in the face of adversity. And it also is what? Being pipped at the post-major arcana. Not to get involved in any form of drama. You are highly intuitive, darling dears. Queen of Cups, you are extremely... Listen, you didn't have a paw in the fight, darling dears. You didn't realize what you was up against. But in order to get to the Queen, darling dears, you had to go through some self-realizations. The Dolphin also tells me that you was what? Smarter than your partner. You had it in the cranium. This is possibly why they hated your eyelashes. Hey! Ooh, child. You was with a dummy bat, blood. You was blinded by love. Like I said, it takes a lot to get to the Queen of Cups. Hey! Ooh, child. You was involved with someone who was a dummy bat. When we see a King of Cups on its forehead, darling, this person's got mommy issues. And they don't like women. They don't like anyone. Fell off the back end, darling dears. Yeah. You overcame the almost unovercomable, darling dears. No more, one more round, Julie. For you, your hairline is very important. 9 of Wands tells me, yes, you was wounded. Yes, it hurt. Yes, yes, yes. There was many things you found out along the way, but you did not give up, darling dears. When you glance back, Spirit Divine, your ancestral team, your security wants you to look back and realize how far you've come. Yes, you can sit down for a while, darling dears, but don't stay there too long. Why? Because I already told you. You're being guided. What you are walking towards, darling dears, is spiritually guided. Remember I told you that. We have the moon as well as Sagittarius energy. Lean in, bestie. The moon is about your intuition, darling dears. It also speaks about female energy. It also speaks about discernment. Something is about to be revealed. Maybe a piece of information, or maybe you was doing something in a certain way. Couldn't understand why it wasn't catching fire. Things are changing from today. Remember, I told you that. The energy of Sagittarius is expansion. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter, the planet of growth, travel, foreign lands, foreign people. And it's also a reminder that you will not be recognized in the village or mud hut that you was raised in, darling. There's the marriage partnership that you was in. You will never be recognized there. Why? Because a guru, a spiritual guide, will never be recognized amongst the feeble-minded, darling dears. You'll be your support will be from foreign people, not necessarily foreigners, darling dears. They may not be from a foreign land, but people that were not intrinsically known to you, darling dears. This is where your support will come from. Remember, I told you that everything is lining up. Remember, I told you that. And today, is it today? No. On the 13th and 14th is a Mercury Kazimi, right? Yes, baby. So I'm telling you, remember I told you that, darling, there's contracts, ideas, travel. It's all coming towards you. They thought you'd be, listen, look back, but don't look back too long. Remember Salt Bay, Lot's wife. It was unequally yoked. There was a lot of dysfunction in that situation, darling dears. Yeah, look. When you chose you, look how the cards are coming. When you chose you, you come with clarity and the truth. Somebody's also about to step into fame. It also speaks about the level of healing, darling dears. Many of you did a lot of research in order to heal. You had to understand that what you bucked up on, darling dears, was not just for you, darling dears. It's happened to hundreds of thousands, millions of people, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, and the sword shows how intelligent you are, darling dears. Always were. You was just dealing with a dummy bat that had to break your self-esteem, do all what they did to bring you down. If it was family members, they were never disloyal because you was the one that came with the light. We see Aquarius energy. Aquarius is about groups, darling dears, friends. But it also, when we speak about the 11th house Aquarius, they're looking at your Skrilla. Even though we haven't seen no money, right? We haven't seen one Skrilla card yet, darling dears. They're looking at your finances. Remember I told you that. Swords may even speak about a public speaking situation. We've got what? 2, 3, 4 of swords, darling dears. You've healed. You healed from that situation. Yeah, but they haven't. You still rent-free in their mind. Oh yes, they're sorry. They're full of regret. But unfortunately, regret is not remorse. Hey, they will do it again in a heartbeat, darling dears. They will come right back in. But it also speaks about, as I said, they're on the rocks of life, darling dears. They've got real things, real situations that they should be focusing on. But sword energy, their energy is only for you. We've got also a new moon in the back. Set your intention, darling dears, for what you want to come towards you. The next new moon will be on the I believe, yes, it's the 5th of July, and it's going to be in Cancer. And we're talking about the 4th house, darling dears. The 4th house also represents your ancestral team. You are protected and guided. Remember, I told you that. Whatever they try, darling dears, it will fail. Look at this, 4 of Wands. This is an 11-11 fade. They're around the wrong company. They're saying the wrong type of things. They're not speaking life into their situations. Somebody's also about to be displaced or removed from a job. Remember, I told you that. Listen, if you want to hear about these things, if you put out that energy, you will hear. But why? Why would you care? I already told you, when you want to find out what karma somebody's going to get, go to your birth natal chart and find where Saturn is. Saturn, right? Whatever house Saturn is in on your birth natal chart, if you was truly good to people, darling dears, wherever Saturn is on your birth natal chart, the house it's in, that is the karma that they will get. If it's in the 12th house, this is going to be involving what? Prison, hospital. Yeah, always at war, darling dears. They may have mental health issues. If it's the 1st house, it's something to do with their appearance, darling dears. Or they're always having accidents. But you have to remember, people that are what? Soul tied to them, darling dears, will also experience that Saturn energy that's coming off of your birth natal chart. And you're not wishing it on them. This is the law of karma. This is why I tell you many times, bestie, you don't sit down, you don't look for it. No! Some things are just not for you to see. Every time you feel that power up like Pac-Man, darling dears, you know they try to do something to you. And Divine said, not my child. Why? Because you went through the DNS blood. And you didn't want fight wickedness with wickedness. You just took away your energy. And never you ever underestimate your energy. Okay, let's get one more card and then we're out of here to get great, because I told you time is of the essence today. We're going to go with the Kipper because you love the Kipper so much. But it's evilest lies. This is not someone or someone who is happy with their own self. What's that in the background? The Eye of Sauron. Yeah, lurking with the loitering eyes, darling dears. Everything they wish for you ain't happening, blood. I told you. You're going to continue to be blessed in their face. You could be in a government position. You could be in the army, the navy, whatever, darling dears. Whatever it is boss up in this. Why? Because you are the Ibex cat. Never you forget that. And it's ever forwards, never backwards. On that note, what's on the base of the deck? I had to look. Why? Because I like to see what's going on. Change is afoot. Remember I told you that. I drops me mic. Todd love to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Excuse me, Marcy will play. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat. Let them watch. You can't stop them, darling dears. Just like they cannot stop your greatness, your ascension. Keep on keeping on, but keep your third eye on bitches and mitches. Big cat wave.